I'm not a selfie guy.
What's going on? This is Impact, one half of Warden's Midwest. We're joined today with Kidmed. That's him in the background. But yeah, man, glad to have you here. Shout out Swing PR, man. That's the people that brought us here together. Of course, we go back though. Man, how you been, bro?
Man, I've been good, bro. I've been working, man. Just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of music coming out. A lot of events. We got some going on Friday night, actually. Yeah, bro. Like, we got a studio up on the north side, so we've been having like clients come through to record. Studio time. We have music videos going.
True. Where are you located at over there?
We're located at 5511 North Elston. That's our studio. It's a warehouse space. So it's pretty big, man. Big old green screen over there, you know what I'm saying? So
got it hooked up.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot of video work.
Yeah, I do a lot of video work. I'm the videographer for my company, Spice Gang ENT. We're a record label. Just got our LOC and stuff like that. Got investments going. So we're doing some big things, man, as far as events and stuff this coming month. Yeah, so we got some people behind us now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got a project dropping soon, or you got anything brand new?
I'm still I still have something new in the works. That's the name of the album. It's called Something New. So that's my album that I'm working on. But as far as like song releases, like I think I'm more working on that right now. Like I just released Kidmed Redemption right now, which is probably like one of my best songs right now. That's I'm actually performing. That's on Friday at the Petty Allegations release party.
Okay.
It's at 2050 West Division Street in Chicago, Illinois. It's at a place called Bourbon. It's presented by Digital Cassette and us, Spice Gang. So
Bourbon or Bourbon Street? What's that?
The image right there is probably backwards, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's on my Twitter. That's on my Instagram.
Illuminati shit.
Yeah, man. Like, definitely like with the events, we got James Cameron going crazy on that.
Well, let's move this around a little bit. It's extra flashy at the moment. Some Iron Man shit. So, what are we listening to right now?
This right here, Shea Butter Princess.
That's one of your brand new drops too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I dropped that one in December last year. That's probably like a little older, but it's still like new. So like my new listeners, that's like it's definitely up there. Like that's one of the ones that got the most views on it. Yeah, that one was produced by Ricky2991 as well. He produces like all of my music, most of James Cameron's music, all of his own music. Yeah.
It's a cool vibe, man. It's a little smooth. Still got a little hood, but you could definitely play this at a little coffee house,
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And it's got that nice feel. And then that shea butter reference just
exactly
makes you think of smooth skin and shit. Exactly. So that's a good appeal. By the way, we're coming in from Stockyard Coffee House. Thank you for lending this space. That is the South Side sign, but it's a little distracting right now, so we're going to have to fix that a little bit in a second. Yeah, bro. So,
yeah.
Man, what else is good? Like, any big performances lately that you already tackled or are happy about?
At the moment, I haven't really been concerned with performing and getting shows because nobody really knows my name. I feel like that's just something people do a little backwards nowadays.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna buy your tickets. You're not really gonna get people to show up to your shows. Like it's good practice, but I mean the main thing you want to be focusing on, the main thing I need to be focusing on right now is just building my social media, building my brand, getting doing interviews like this, like stuff like this, so people could like see my face and be intrigued by my music. But I'm definitely like doing some stuff next month. In March, we got some exclusive stuff going on. I can't really talk about the specifics, but definitely got some stuff going on.
Truth, but man, I like what you just said about that. First of all, there's no one way to do it for anybody. I've seen everybody do it every which way, but I feel like one of the things people do is burn out their resources. They burn out themselves. Yeah, constantly trying to be creating, performing, doing multiple projects all at once. Yeah, you're right. I feel like you gotta catch a buzz first. People gotta be like, what is that? Yeah. Where can I hear that? You know what I mean? And I've seen it with a couple people. You'll play a song, one of your guys' tracks for somebody be like, man, is that person having a performance anytime soon? Well, throughout a month, you get 10 people like that, and you just, take them to your social media, to your Instagram, have them follow you. You know what their interest is, but again, you got to build that up. And I agree with that. I think people are trying to get a crowd of people, a big following off of performances when nobody knows you yet. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get to know you. And I think one of the greatest things about the performances is that it draws people that are looking for talent. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? If you're trying to get recruited, that's what's up. But everybody's got their own angle. I think that's smart, though. They'll just try to catch that buzz first, those tracks. Facts. And a lot of people did it. Rest in peace, Mac Miller, of course. Oh, man. He was the legend for it. Yes. Of course, not everybody's gonna give Soulja Boy all the credit, or they shouldn't give him all the credit. But the way Soulja Boy was doing it, Mac Miller was doing with one track at a time. Yeah. You know what I mean? He wasn't focused on an EP. He wasn't focused on all these other things. People catch a vibe off of one song. Yep. People think that this is the 90s where you gotta have track 1 through 16, but the intros, the intro gotta be funny, the outro gotta be bomb as fuck.
Exactly, like
it's not that anymore.
Who's gonna listen to that? Like, I don't understand. Like,
we have ADD in 2019, and we have ADD
it's sad
because these things is true.
It's the truth, man. Like, you're speaking all facts right now, because just like the wave right now with social media and the way people are used to being presented social media and being presented new brands, being presented new artists, it's not a thing of, here's this new artist, listen to this 16-track EP or album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, check out this 30-second snippet of them singing a song in their studio, or
we're fresh off the Vine era. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. People just started adding like extensions to like your snaps and your like Instagrams, and people are just right now, you still on Instagram, you got a minute, wrap it up. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Wrap it up. And that's how people look at shit now, is wrap it up. Oh, by the way, feel free to use your words as you wish. You know what I'm saying? We're not being censored in any way. So, shout out once again. But bring me back real quick before I embarrass myself.
No, like we were definitely having like a good conversation about just how people should be presenting themselves on social media. But you did bring up another good point earlier about how people just come up in different ways. And like my experience with like being given advice from like older people in the industry, not even only older people, just like people who think they know what they're doing. It's like, what's your success story? What have you been like? What have you experienced in your like journey to the top? If you're giving me all this like advice that I should be putting out these like long ass EPs, long ass albums, or like,
I feel like it's almost not effort wasted, because if you're building your craft, and hopefully you got a fountain of whatever it is that you are that can come out. Yeah. But a lot of times, like you're saying, at the end of the day, you can have 10 EPs before you blow up. So what all that effort put into that, what is it? You know what I mean? Yeah. But always build. I get what you're saying. It's a double-edged sword too, because people really gotta like put their time into their craft. Like myself, I feel like I would have so much stuff personally out. You know what I mean? If I had a little more time to dedicate, you know what I mean, like you're supposed to at the same time. But definitely strategize to, you know what I mean, not burn yourself out. You gotta be ready to, you know what I mean, take a lot of losses. And I've seen a lot of people take, ultimate losses, in this game. Yeah. And it's something you pour your heart into. But at the same time, you know what I mean, put your effort concentrated in the right areas. You know what I mean? And hopefully it works out for you. And everybody that's trying out there, man, if you got some hits, fuck what everybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? You got hits, because at the end of the day, that's all we're trying to make is hits. You know what I mean?
You gotta understand at the same time, like I came from like when I started coming up, it was like the Mac Miller era, it was the Wiz Khalifa era, the Soulja Boy era, the like, you know, when Soulja Boy was fading out, other people was coming in, like stuff like that.
How old are
Like
you?
I'm 23, bro.
Okay.
You know, I graduated high school in 2014, but like the way I looked at it when I was younger is it's different. It's even different now than it was back then, just when I was in high school. Like that's how quick hip hop changes. That's how quick the media changes. That's how quick social media changes. That's how quick we look at like our view for artists changes. And like the people I was like coming up with when I was in high school, when I would like be going to DePaul and stuff like that, like it like even like the way we're all doing things like has changed. Like I kind of went my own way, you know, like and like I've been learning, bro, like ever since I was like doing stuff like with any group of people. I've picked up things from each groups that I've been in, and like they've all blessed me with things. And there's also things that I would change about like those groups, or like even about myself that I have changed. Like I do videography now. I'm learning my craft. I'm like learning producing. Like I'm learning mixing and mastering. Like I do graphic design now. And I've just like been evolving, you know. Like I feel the more you learn how to do those things on your own, the more you just learn how to brand yourself, the more you like learn to evolve with hip hop and not push against the grain. You just move with it, flow with it. The easier your career is going to be, you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Damn, strong transition there.
But yeah, like what's up with this 21 Savage guy, bro?
Oh yeah, let's cover that, man. Finally. Hallelujah. He's finally out, guys. You know, you don't have to do sleep anymore. He's no longer in immigration facilities. Ain't that out of place as fuck? And you know, the funny thing, all I can think about right now that he's out, want to tweet about me, get you killed, dog. I feel like he's just gonna hop around the whole. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Bro. Hey, you can make a series out of that. You can make a mini series out of 21 Savage, like on some. I'm not sure if you ever seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or whatnot, where at the end they're petty as hell and they start seeing all the people that emailing, talking. So they go personally to go visit each one of them, fuck them up. I don't know.
Pull up, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. With a shank too now, because everybody knows he's from London, bro. They don't got guns out there, so he got to come out like an MS-13. But you know what I'm talking about. Hey,
21 to 21st.
Hey, for people that don't know about London and all these crazy areas in Europe, they really got hoods because they're not allowed to have guns. They'll have guns, but these people, man, I done got into some pages on Snap where it's just people out there like filming like the game banging, whole nother level. I'm talking about every time there's a stabbing, there's somebody getting like treated hard. Like shit's on everything I see out here. Maybe the censorship is different, but God damn. Oh yeah, but shout out 21 Savage. Take care of your kids. Yeah, I know he's gonna hug them real tight.
Yeah, like that's sad, man. It just opens your eyes to like, you know, like I feel like it's sad that it takes something like this to open our eyes to immigration and the things that are going on in the world, but it takes something like this sometimes to like open people's eyes and be like, wow, like just like that, you could be gone from your family. Just like that, you could like be locked up because you don't belong somewhere.
Wait,
you know
what we're seeing right now is the dollar privilege of capitalism in immigration. Because anybody else who would have had the record that he has for criminal violence and everything else, who overstayed a visa, would have been scooped up and taken out, because people call immigrants criminals and all these things of all nature. What people don't realize is the people that get slammed the hardest are people without legal status. You are not a citizen, therefore you are 1/3 of a man here if you don't have status. So there's constantly people living in fear, but somebody with an extensive record, not just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You figure he had that coming his way, but you know, working in immigration in that field, I feel like it's a smart move because he can't fix papers to legalize, because if he's married to a citizen and he tries to fix that way, you still have to you still have to pass a basic, like, they're gonna look up your record. There's no sealing and expunging any records. They got to see everything that you've done, and they would see that he has felonies. Then guess what? You're cut. You cannot fix, and then they know you're not here legally.
Yeah.
So if he gets put in removal proceedings, where is well, that's what he's fighting, removal proceedings right now in court. So if he gets put in removal proceedings, then he's got a chance to fight it due to persecution, fear, his status here as a celebrity, things like that. But he gets to fight it in the court system. He wouldn't be able to just fix again because he overstayed for more than a year. See, the laws that's how they basically break down. The problem is that they don't forgive those put it this way, it's the same penalty basically to cross the border twice without permission as to basically shoot somebody, because you're not going to get to stay in the country. You get what I'm saying? So, like, how is crossing an imaginary line the same as shooting somebody? You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're outdated. The laws don't make sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just the realization there's a lot of people living here illegally, and you're taxing them. So it's to call them illegals like and all these other things, issue. If you're taking their money, is a little that's antagonistic. It's like you're still taking their money.
It's definitely like an issue with like border patrol and like the laws that people are making, but I feel like it's also a deeper issue of just like how we see people. You know, like Mexicans, Africans, you know, people of darker descent are definitely treated different. Like darker, like skin complexion, and like of other descent, other than like white, are treated different than like per se like white immigrants. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's still like Irish immigrants, there's still like Russian immigrants, like, and then I just don't see as much of that as like there is like Muslims like being deported, like Mexicans, like black people. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
as far as the wall. Well, geographically, it makes sense that all these Latin Americans get deported because the easiest entryway. People from Canada, put it this way, are not clogging the borders up in Canada. You know what I mean? They ain't rushing to get over here because they're comfy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Because they don't have anything to get away from.
Exactly. Right now, it's a travesty. There's still a war going on in Mexico with these cartels and drugs, how they've terrorized and how the law doesn't stand up there anymore. Right. And, you know, El Chapo just got convicted. Just barely got convicted over here because the United States basically said your law enforcement is a joke for him to be able to get out like that. And if somebody that high up can control things to that level, imagine the amount of people that are getting their businesses taken. Extortions are a regular thing. You know what I mean? This is something that's really happening right now, and people are trying to get away from. And you calling those people criminals? No, those are the people with the low resources who got everything taken away.
Exactly. And like the thing is with me is like, if you genuinely think that,
if you're an MS-13, I'm not talking about you.
No, not at all. I'm actually Salvadorian and Puerto Rican.
Hey man, you're not an MS-13 though, right, bro?
No.
Right.
But like, my thing is like, if you genuinely believe that a wall is going to keep somebody out of your country, something's wrong with you. And like, with that being said,
man,
if you don't believe, hold on, going off of that, if you don't think that wall is literally just a monument for white supremacy, then there's something wrong with you as well. Because like, if you have to like understand the state of this country and like the state of like racial issues and like everything that's been going on for generations and generations. Now it's just being flipped on Mexicans. It was black people for like this amount of time. Now it's happening to Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a different. Mexicans have always been shit on.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you know what I mean? Because we come from such humble, hard, rough beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's story. Like, you have parents. You know what I'm saying? That cross the border. They're not easy stories. No, I don't know any family that just skipped in like without any trouble. You know what I mean? And it's like people make sacrifices. So. We've always been persecuted to a certain extent, but now you're right. The blame is being put on us.
Exactly.
So it's like with the African American community, you have people claiming that oh, they're taking up all these resources, they're doing all this. But what about all the free labor you got off of them? That boosted the economy. Same way the Mexicans did that with produce and these jobs that nobody else would take, where all these people got rich off of our sweat. You know what I mean? So we've been persecuted, but now blame's getting put on us. And, you know, these tags are getting put on us, like the criminal thing. Definitely. Now, I'm not sure if it's a monument as far as the wall. I want to think more extremely, like, why are they really building a wall there? That's like a war thing. You know what I mean? Why was the Great Wall of China put up? To stop invaders from coming through. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Also, this is more of a war. This is a war mindset, I feel like. Yeah. A war mind. And it might be to keep people in, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning into it.
It's more difficult to lead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I feel like that's a blockade. Either one way or the other.
One way or the other, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. And that's what I think really would be. Because it's not to stop immigration. Immigration flows going to keep going. I'll dig a hole right now.
You don't think people digging holes? You don't think people are gonna? You don't think Mexico is gonna like? All right, cool. We'll build a wall. We building stairs. We building escalators on our side though. How about that?
Where will we get construction materials from,
bro?
You know how cheap they charge for labor out there, boy. You just get the damn town and be like, hey,
bro, they will do that for free. You tell me they won't do that for free?
All right, so we don't want to get too far off.
You're right.
Because we here to focus a little bit on Kidmed and his music, man.
That's a part of me though. Like, I'm definitely a social warrior. Like, I definitely like would like to see change. I fought with Work in America. I've been a door-to-door guy. The people who knock on your door talking about change. I was definitely fighting against Ronner when all that was going on. Like,
okay,
that's a big part of me. So I'm glad we're talking about that. I thought this was like
Jehovah's Witness and shit. I'm that guy.
No, like I definitely have been like that, like that. I definitely are. I'm doing it more through music right now.
Yeah.
I have me and my boy Ricky 2991 actually have a song talking about social issues.
That's challenging though. This is why it's challenging because if it don't reach the people right away, then it loses some of its relevance because when it's a social issue, it's very locked in time. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So the trap with that or the challenge in it is that it's got to hit fast or you kind of got to adjust it, forget about it, work on it because it's a time issue.
I agree with that. The song that we have up right now is actually like a very so you've seen the movie Black Panther, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay, you know how like much
I'm allowed to do this. I heard as long as it's not enough.
You know how much that means to like the Black community. Like it should mean as much as it means
to the
Black community as much as it means to us. That
movie
means a lot to me too because I like to see Black people coming up. Just like I hope Black people would like to see us coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm all for the culture. I'm all for like reparations. I'm all for like people getting their spotlight. Like me and Ricky 2991 made a song called Killmonger's theme song. It's on SoundCloud. Y'all should go check it out. It's called Kill 'Em All.
Were you a Marvel nerd growing up?
I love Marvel. I love DC as well. I definitely love Marvel.
You one of them, man. Like you got to be from the West Side,
bro. Of course,
I love the Cubs and the Sox. I like
Sox fan all the way, bro.
Oh, that's what's up. We right here. That's our backyard. You already know. Man, but definitely. We don't have that representation though, man. I mean, African culture is very.
It's coming.
No, it's very much. It's in the history books. There's a trace to it. Our lineage got cut off like disgustingly, probably more blatantly than anything I've ever heard of.
I agree.
As far as me personally hearing of something, I heard Australia was bad. You know how they got rid of their indigenous people for the most part and still treat them.
It was literally just an island to send all the criminals to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like our you know what I mean, our lineage, I've read a lot into it, they got rid of all of our sculptures and melted it. And
that's the real thing.
They got rid of, you know what I'm saying, all of our textbooks and everything. And,
I'm really glad you're talking about that because so this is my thing. I love Black people talking about Black people and Black issues. I love that because it's still a thing. From this. I don't have to recover from it. I'm saying like I love that. I don't like when Latinx people, specific like brown people, try to like interject themselves while Black people are doing that. This is the time for us to talk about brown issues. Yeah. Don't be like, well, hold on. What about us? Y'all will get the time. You know what I'm saying? We'll get the time. Like, we have to make our own time. We have to make our own interests. We have to
jump in the bandwagon if you agree, and we'll do the same. You know what I'm saying? When we're all facing something, we're all facing something. Because at the end of the day, if we're facing something and it's from the government and it's a nationwide thing, guess what? Everybody's really being affected. I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about stuff that's meant to keep poor people poor, and that's the stuff we don't get together on. So no matter if you're black or brown, if you're minority, if you grew up if you started off in a bad neighborhood, well, stats are stacked up against you. You know what I mean? Right. So you could change laws. It's got to be by area. But at the same time, if we're picking a side and being like, this is our time, no. This is a problem. Let's tackle this. This is another problem. Let's tackle this. It's more of us when we're both tackling shit.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
And like, I agree with that. I'm like, I don't want you to take it like I'm disagreeing with that.
No, I'm not either. But I always got to put my little 2 cents.
Yeah, like no, like I'm glad you did. Like I agree with every point that you've made. I'm not disagreeing with anything. I feel like that's definitely a thing where like black and brown people need to stick together during this time, and like by doing that, we need to respect each other and respect each other's times. And like right now, we're talking about this. Black people should be like, yeah, like let's do that. Let's definitely talk about this issue right now. Like this is a thing. And we need to do this together. And when they're talking about their issues and things that they feel like they're going through, we need to be like,
but you got an uncle or a dad or somebody out there going every time they talk about black issues.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's
what I mean?
Something that I talk to them about.
I'm saying is that
I don't tolerate that. That's something that my family knows because I talk to them about these issues all the time. If y'all listening, I'm that guy. Like I'm definitely gonna be the one to say something like, I don't like the word pireto. I don't like the word moreno. I don't like any disrespect towards anybody, period.
First of all, when Mexicans disrespect morenos, I'm not going to say it in a racial way. They say mayates. Origin, black bug. I'm just putting y'all up on game, so if you hear it, you know what it is. Thanks. It's like a beetle and shit. So that's their stem from insult. But that's more of a insult you hear. You know what I'm saying in Spanish.
Definitely. Like it's a thing, man. Like
I don't feel ashamed.
Racism from both sides is definitely, I'm sorry, not racism. Prejudice from both sides is definitely a thing. But we also have to remember that
we got to give space for pride. It's good to have pride. I grew up in an all-black neighborhood.
It is good to have pride. Definitely have pride in your heritage, where you come from.
Yeah, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood.
Yeah.
And, it still sticks to me that I took it so personal that people would call me a white honky. Not taking into consideration that everybody there, you know what I'm saying, we're used to being around light-skinned people. Yeah. But I'm Mexican. How could you confuse that? It took it so personally. And that's the problem is when you take yourself out of the equation, don't take it so personally, because that's what racism is really viewed at, is how it affects you. Even if you're not that race, it's like, oh yeah, I agree with them, I disagree with them. At the end of the day, man, everybody's trying to pull numbers, and it's more of a popularity thing than an actual issue thing. That's my issue, is because if you discuss it as in, oh yeah, this racism is really deeply affecting me. Okay, by case, I agree. If you're enraged and you're doing something about it, I agree. But for it to just be a topic and for everybody to be able to put in their 2 cents and like persecute everybody, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people being persecuted. I'm tired of people it's like,
let's put it like this. Like there's platforms for things, and there are already things set up for you to do that.
But that's not us doing that, bro. Because if you really think about it, what's really the effect of these people coming out and getting attacked? This is not set up by us. All this stuff that's going on is not set up by us. Who is it? It's Nike. It's all these people that are pulling their endorsements because of it. Yeah. These are the people that are making us fight. Trump is a good representation. He's a brand. He makes money this way. You think that's not his strategy? Make them fight?
I definitely agree with that.
That's what we're facing right now, but everybody's taking it as a prejudice state.
I agree that
key
Nike
players that have money
are doing that. I am one that agrees and does it's ingrained in us, man. It's not only them, it is them. They're the ones like shaking it. They're the ones grabbing the fresh bottle of Sprite and shaking that shit. But we're the ones who have already like added the carbonation to the shit. It's already there. It's in the air. We see it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's here, man. It's like you can't argue it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you could though. People could just stop being so petty.
It's not just people.
They expect us to be petty, and we fall into that. You got the will to say, "I'm not going to be petty this morning."
Petty? Like, what do you mean by that? Who's being petty?
I mean, people are petty, just jumping on these bandwagons. Like everything matters. You know what I mean? All these topics about celebrities and all this other stuff really matters to that key.
Yeah, you're right.
Talk to me about somebody in your neighborhood that got, you know what I'm saying, and something you resolved that way. Somebody you told on because they did the wrong thing. Yeah. I'd rather hear about that than what happened to Jennifer Aniston and the boyfriend she has at the moment. Like that means nothing to me. Like it means, but that's when we're fighting. We're acting like this really means something on our day to day because we're reporting live, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're manipulating.
Those types of things and like talking about those things, like just right now, man. Like,
shout out 21 Savage and all.
Shout out 21 Savage, like those. That type of stuff, even with 21 Savage, like those are the type of things that comfort us, man. Like that's what people go to. Like you have to understand that as well. Like it's toxic to a certain extent.
But what's
like
the comfort,
so is
I'm
like
curious,
overeating.
I don't mean it like
because like you want to see other people's problems. You want to get away from your issues that you go outside and experience every day. So you turn to social media. You can turn on your phone and laugh away.
I feel like what you're saying is people
for free. If you have a phone bill, if your parents pay a phone bill, if you pay a phone bill, it's on your phone.
I feel like you're saying though that people are cowarding or get a chance to coward from their life, not to tackle their issues and see what somebody else's issues. Is that 5-0 right by the man? What the fuck, man? Excuse me.
It looks like it, but I think
that's not a patty.
It looks like somebody's like faking to be 5-0 actually, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see any Chicago PD on it. It looks like a fake ass.
You can smell it from the rap.
Bro,
that's that shit. It's
that's not no. Bro, look at the fake ass.
What? Bro. Hey man, somebody keep an eye on them ladies that just walk, because that's that kidnap bus. So if you see this on the news, there's a white big cargo van with a fake blue Chicago police stripe with no lettering on it. Do not trust that.
Sirens on top too, like bulky lights.
That is not a hospital van.
It's nothing. It's just like somebody's van that they've made look like this.
Homie the Clown is back. Nah, I would never. No false alarm. I'm just saying that that was not right. See, we got a nice little view of everything that's going on outside, so it's a beautiful location. Again, shout out to Stockyard Coffee House.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice brews.
Appreciate the
good teas.
Facts.
Nah, yeah, man, but facts. Let's kind of drift back into your music, man. Put something. You got a suggestion for something a little more rebellish or more?
Man, listen to Pull Up.
Pull Up. Let's pull up.
You know why? Because I got time to pull up on any racist motherfuckers in 2019.
Man, this is what I told him not to do right now. This is exactly what we were talking about. I said, do not jump on this bed. Ain't nobody doing this.
Look.
Let's pull up, though.
We about to pull up, bro.
Pull up.
Let's not pull up, bro. Don't listen to that one. Hold on. I'm about to turn on Pull Up, though. Just pull up right here.
I thought it was Frank Ocean.
Look, I got a whole music video to this. We about to watch the video.
That's fine.
The side I go your club. Shit, bro.
Technical difficulties, but you are tuned into Warden's Midwest. Impact. Kidmed.
I shot and edited this video. That's Ricky 2991. 8 times.
Who directed this?
Ain't mine, me.
Okay.
Yeah. In the stoop. Oh,
what skate park is that, G?
Logan Square.
I don't be out there.
West side shit, bro. I'm just chilling by the
Southside.
Don't leave us here, babe. We will fuck here, babe. Hey. Hey, yeah.
Talking about fuck your babe. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Catch me and my babe. Fucking your babe.
Sorbet.
Sorbet. Bayception.
I just thought of a bar.
Go ahead, bro. Go crazy, bro. We don't want to hear it? Okay.
Nah. Man, it's a little dirty in my mind. I gotta make it an actual bar.
Okay.
Because they gotta do with cream and then sorbet. You know what I mean? Shit's
facts, bro. But yeah, like that song "Pull Up," man. That's one of me and Ricky 2991 favorites, bro. We got "Pull Up" Part 2 though. Y'all ain't ready for that.
Okay.
We got "Pull Up" Part 2.
Man, just play that back to back. We gotta listen to some of your music. You know what I'm saying? We've been covering some issues, kicking back, but
yeah. Road Rage, Doja. Hey. Pull up, door sales.
See, I like when you jump into something like that. Like right away, you start thinking, "What wave is this?" Simple 1, 2, but then you know you're gonna get a little bit of a.
Watch, you're right. Let's say that you're right.
Well, you hope it would. It build up to that, complexity. But
this is one of my girl's favorite songs, bro. Walk out home. Got middle balls, middle night, middle pipe. Twisted for the hell of writing. I'm kidding off like overbites. Don't give me no underhand, they get slapped now they over that. Tell me how that show business shaking ass on Harrison. Okay. Mine doesn't have a label. You can just see I have a mug.
Mugs.
Pull up. Door sales. Yeah, my verse is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed, Kidmed, in my Obama voice.
So, whoa. Move that ass slow. That ass some more. Drop it to the floor. Kick it at my soul. Molly on the low. Life's a movie on the road. Rap star, lifestyle, whole scene faded. When we on the road, I'm trying to party till we make it. Money for I made it. Make some sushi with my sake calamari with my Jameson. I don't like how you looking. Crooked. Shy town to Brooklyn. He's with pudding. Acid with Goodman. Wrist and my footing. Ugly ass hoodlum. Beans with my teeth and my nails be on fleek. Nikes on my feet. Bitch on my sheets. I'm a dog. I'm a G. You know what I'm saying? Pull Up Part 2. It's not out yet. It'll be out soon though. No, we gotta drop this next month. It's happening. We're dropping this March 1st.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. So I give my honest commentary. I love your flow through the track.
Yeah.
You started off like on some "Don't Be a Menace to South Central." I drinking you just in the hood. Yeah. He's like, "Watch, let me get this number." Because you're talking about move slow, but you're like move slow. I'm like, oh shit.
Wait, hold on.
Like when you started off with that move that ass slow, like your cadence was real fast. So it's kind of like you rush to go like move that ass slow. Like
if you move that ass slow, hold on.
Like that part was
baby,
slow.
move that ass slow, baby, shoot that ass some more, baby, drop it to the floor. You know what I'm saying? Pop the Molly on the low, lipstick on my clothes, life's a movie on the road. But yeah, bro, you right though.
I'm saying it came in a little strong. I ain't saying nothing wrong with it.
It did.
And when I say honest commentary, people expect me to shit on something. No, that's not it.
No.
I'm just saying that the first thing that pops up, I usually like to share because that's my honesty in it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Shit. I fuck with this melody hard.
You're not real.
Oh, of course, man. I wouldn't lead nobody on. And if I did, you would see it because this is being broadcasted. I noticed my facial expressions are very revealing.
Right? Oh, mine too, bro. For real.
Yeah, because I've been sitting in front of this. That. Yeah. Because I'll be annoyed with something and not know. I'll be like.
You'll be like. Mine are more dramatic though. Like I'll be like. Nah, bro.
I don't know how.
I don't fuck with you, bro. Like I'm not even gonna joke with you. I'm just gonna be serious.
Okay. So you know what? I kind of wanted to bring something up, not on the blast,
yeah.
So in between talking, I realized you don't smoke.
You don't
puff the meds.
I I don't puff the meds, but I do take the meds.
Okay. So yeah, because in this day and age, everybody thinks of medicinal marijuana as a. So when I heard Kidmed, that was my first impression. So it's more on a Lausanne play. No, I'm saying not with the content, with the play on the words with the drug reference. Clinical.
Well,
medical.
I'll put it like this: I am the medicine.
Oh, okay. See, now see that
my music is the medicine.
That's what I'm trying to unravel. Is your take on what that
facts?
Means.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Like people always ask me what my name means. I don't really feel that I have an answer to that because it just like came up. Like I was just like,
so you're like hip hop's version of The Cure.
The Cure.
Kidmed.
Facts. You put it like that. I mean, I do partake. I party. You know what I'm saying? Like Like I'm not going. Whatever, bro. Like, I'll be out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that, but like, fuck around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta be specific. So it ain't weed. It ain't.
Bro, and literally, if you listen to my music, I do Molly. If you listen to my music, I don't know how many times I've referenced Molly, but like, it's just like, okay, Mom, I do Molly. What the fuck? Sometimes I do Molly. Bro.
So I'm sweating, Mom. I didn't go to the fucking gym.
But like people have such a negative view.
Why'd you think I come over here? I'm asking for menudo. I had Molly last night.
Oh my god!
God damn it! I need some damn grease. I need something to stop this damn.
You mean poo sauce? I'm Salvadoran. You gotta remember. Gotta pull up on the mom. Get some either poo sauce or since my mom's married to a Puerto Rican, tostones, jibaritos. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pull up to get some beef steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got menudo. Mexicans just fucking
menudo fire though.
I'm saying you got a hangover. That's like all that garbage shit that you're not supposed to have. It cures all that alcohol and poison. Like that garbage GMO stuff cures alcohol poisoning. That's not a medical statement. You don't take that from Impact or Kidmed.
Bro, somebody gonna write your prescription down, bro.
I had menudo. I don't know how I ended up with cancer.
Midwest Warden said if I have menudo.
That's Warden's Midwest, by the way. And Warden's Midwest does not stand by this statement. This is just bullshit from Impact.
It's bullshit, man.
Hey, you freestyle.
I partake in the freestyles once in a while. You want to freestyle?
We might have to save that for after the broadcast so we can have some for people to tune in on some, extra shit. So,
okay, cool.
I ain't done it a little bit. Shout out to Terry Tertiary, other half right now of Warden's Midwest, commanding Warden right now out in Ohio. I think that's the plan. We're gonna leave some for the side and yeah, man, I need to get something out.
Facts, bro. It's lit.
This caffeine and my meds did not mix. Like
your meds?
Yeah, caffeine and meds. You know what I'm saying? It's like alcohol and cocaine. You don't mix them.
Oh my god.
By the way, I haven't had alcohol or cocaine.
Always mix them.
I'm just saying that's the reference. Like spaghetti and meatballs.
It's a good thing to know.
Did you know spaghetti and meatballs? Okay.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
It's like, yeah.
I prefer meatballs than the meat sauce. Like if you ever make me some spaghetti and meatballs, just know that don't chop up the meatballs and put it in the sauce. Just leave the meatballs. You know what I'm saying? I like to cut them up myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I cook. I'm a culinary, so I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
Reason being is because you shit out the noodle. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to mix everything together. So it catches the essence and flavor of everything. So you actually throw some of that boiled water because it's starchy. So it bonds everything. And I feel like, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be balanced. But I feel you. Some people just like motherfucking meatballs.
Hey, I don't even only like meatballs just with spaghetti. Like I've had meatball sandwiches. There's
Mexicans do
with meatballs and rice. And it's like they season it real good. You know what I'm saying?
That's not just Salvadorian. Those are called oh shit, my bicycle car is gonna get revoked right now.
He forgot it.
Damn.
He forgot it.
Albondigas.
bro.
God damn it.
Bondi guys, you right, bro. You
Oh
right.
man,
It's not only a Salvador thing. It's like
that's
a
a
Latin
Latin
thing.
yeah,
It's
it's
a Latino thing, man.
Yeah.
You don't know about that.
If you don't know about that, that's
Bondi guys, bro.
You think Italians got meatballs now?
Nah, bro.
My sister is shit on an Italian.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, this is not a racial thing again. It's just a culinary preference.
Bro. What about your statement about pride? Everybody gotta have pride. We can have our pride, bro.
But I just said shit on Italians. I ain't gonna lie.
You right. You right. It does sound horrible. I didn't hear that. My bad.
And we in Bridgeport, so
I had too much.
If they hear us, they might act like mobsters.
Nah, bro, I'm not scared of mobsters.
They might act like mobsters. I added that act thing for you guys don't know, Bridgeport is a very historic, very plugged neighborhood where racism is not undercover. I'm just playing. It's a great neighborhood, guys.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, it really is. It's had a bad reputation through the years, and it had to do a lot with race issues and things like that. But I felt like it's more of a community now, and it's one of the few communities in the South Side where people openly everybody talks to each other. Everybody knows each other. So there's a sense of community in the South Side, and if you're from the South Side, West Side, there's not a real sense of community as far as like people just being able to speak to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like this, so it's very much different. It's people are integrated into here now. It's all types of. It used to be strictly Irish and Italian. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for a long time.
It did used to be. Like one of my close homies.
Shout out to White Sox, man.
Yo,
if we don't have a good season, it don't matter. I'm a Southsider. You're going to have me regardless.
One of my close homies, Jeff from Hannah's Pretzel. Shout out Jeff, man, the realist. This man was mixed Irish with Mexican. When like Irish and Mexican people didn't really link. So like he was born around that time.
Irish and Mexicans link?
Bro, it's a thing, bro. Like it's literally there's a lot of Irish Mexican people now. It's literally
man, there's redheaded Mexicans because
like
it's Jalisco.
And like
shout out to Jalisco. You guys got like
they look Irish, bro. They look Irish, bro. Like there's literally people from Mexico who literally look Irish, and like that's the confusing part because like I thought that Jeff was just Mexican. He's like, no, like I'm Irish and Mexican. And he's like, and he told me his story. He's like, yeah, like I grew up around a time where like Irish and Mexicans didn't really get along, and like like. My dad like had like this love story with like this Irish girl, like like it was a whole thing. Like it didn't used to be like accepted back then for like us to integrate with like white people, white passing people type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
first of all, it was alright. You know what I'm saying? Mexicans are real. Like my dad was like, don't mess with no black people. I'm just being honest with you. It was a thing back in the day. I'm not saying I was racist, that we grew up racist, or not to like anybody, but I'll tell you the truth. If my dad happened to deal with that early, he'd be mad about it, but you know what I'm saying, everybody's an individual, and at the end of the day, people are either just really ignorant because they don't want to hear it, or at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, if you got it for your loved ones, and this is to everybody because everybody's got so much fucking pride right now. I'm tired of seeing brothers and sisters and friends of years and years fall off over the pettiest just because somebody doesn't want to look stupid. Like, man, get over yourself, man. We all look stupid sometimes. I look stupid intentionally and unintentionally very often.
I have mixed feelings about why.
Come on, man. We got too much damn pride. We're looking at stuff.
Why, like
I'm over here posing like this,
like
all this. No,
racist or like prejudice, whichever one you agree or disagree with. Because I feel like certain Latinx people can be racist depending on your skin complexion and like how you look. But like for the most part, Latinx people can be prejudiced, and like I feel like I don't know if the reason is because in our own countries it was like a thing of like, oh, you're darker, so we look at you lesser, or like if we came over here and we're seeing like the way that white people treated black people, and we're like, oh, like we want to fuck more with white people because they on top type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, bro. I only did this because you waved your hands in the damn screen. Could you please show people your hands right now?
Yeah, bro.
Is that Louis Vuitton?
That's Louis V, bro. And I got Adidas, bro.
All right, so is this a trend right now? Because I've been seeing a lot of performers using this.
Is this happening? Celebrity with
not a celebrity. I've been seeing this in Chicago with people, men with black nails. What's going on?
Honestly, I wanted to do this for a while. One of my best friends just gave me the courage to do it because he did it. Like literally my best friend.
But is it a trend going on right now? You gotta put me up on game.
No, I don't think it is because like like you, bro. I literally go everywhere and people always just either like look at my nails and give me like a look of disgust, or it's like, yo, your nails are cool, bro. Like good shit. Or like women,
It's definitely
always
something to
women
point
are
out.
just like, I like your nails. Like you got nice nails. Like I don't know if they assume. I don't know if they assume I'm gay. I hope they don't, because it shouldn't be like a thing. Like gay people paint their nails, because it's not. But like, I feel like sometimes it comes off like that, and I don't mind. Like, you know, it's just like a thing of like confidence and like
That's a great
security.
thing to have the confidence, to have the security, and know that people will say something like that.
Yeah.
I don't do it as an ignorant person, but I like to be upfront, like I say. And I feel like there's an issue with people not being able to be upfront. So if anybody wants to battle me on that, you can do it 100%. I really don't care if you think I'm any certain way. I react to what's going on around me in a certain way, and I try to keep an open mind to things, and that's why I asked in the way I did. But, you know, logically, somebody might jump to that conclusion or link, you know, painting nails to something else. It's systematically. So it's something. It's a topic thing. You know what I'm saying? It will be brought up. I think you're conscious that somebody will bring that up, but it should be in the context of why. You know what I mean? Which is kind of why what I was trying to get across. Because it's fine if you have your reasons, but I feel like just pushing the LGBT you know, agenda.
Shouts out the LGBTQ
community. Yeah, Q.
What are the new letters? I'm sorry.
LGBTQA+.
A+. Gang, gang. Yeah, like shouts them out. Definitely like starting the movement. The men in the LGBT.
A+. What is A+?
LGBT. What
is A+?
A is asexual, and plus is just anything
You're right.
along those lines.
Shout them out because
they graded themselves.
They literally paved the way for like toxic masculinity to be shoved the fuck out. And like every man who's been like affected by other men who are just toxic and like hold other men down and women down, it's just like, it's a thing, man. Like that needs to go the fuck away.
But sometimes this is
like,
the thing. I get it. But sometimes people aren't that strong on that opinion or on
because they're weak, bro. Like
no.
Bro, I keep.
I'm saying what I'm saying by not strong on the opinion, where it doesn't really matter to them that much. I'm not saying the people that are poking out comments and stuff like that, but to those people,
to everybody though. That's
okay, no, and I think that's wrong. I think that's as a people for us to say this should matter to you is where all the issues is coming from and all this bullying and stuff is coming from amongst each other. You should be like this. You're not woke. You're this, you're that. Stay in your lane. Like if it doesn't affect you, you shouldn't force people to be affected by it. I do think because I got kids and we could battle this out, but they are teaching systematically kids and forcing gay issues on them and LGBTQA+ issues on them when I don't think kids should have to deal with that unless it's a personal thing, not a thing that is being cataloged and advertised. It's being advertised right now. Frozen's gonna have a girlfriend, Elsa. You know what I'm saying? But they're putting it in people's faces. And what I'm saying is, why do that? Why go that far? Fight for your rights, have laws, and everybody should be able to live the way they want without prejudice. But let's be real. We can all tackle our own issues. If it's not a law thing, people should marry whoever they want. Shout out to that. They push great legislation. I agree with that. People should have the liberty to do with who they want what they want. That is the issue, is that people shouldn't be blocked by laws to do things. I think that a bias that people have is a very personal thing. So if there is a person like that, then you do deal with that person, but you don't make it a bigger issue because it's LGBTQA+. Because at the end of the day, you're no longer taking into account the actual attempt or somebody trying to hurt somebody. You're making it plus this. You get what I'm saying? And again,
I have a question.
And it's like equality.
Like, okay, so like you're saying that you think that it should be like
it should be equality.
But equality. Like you're saying that we shouldn't be trying to push those issues on people that it's not an issue to, right? So like
if there's equality involved,
hold on though, because like I give you your turn to talk.
Yeah.
So like my thing is like if that's the thing, then like why aren't why are we fighting for Black people's issues if we're not Black? Why are we fighting for darker skinned Latinx people's issues if we're not darker skinned? Why is it an issue when the LGBTQA plus community decides to expose themselves and have the spotlight of being presented because they exist? Why should they have to hide themselves and be like, look, we're gonna we're gonna do what we want, but like since it makes y'all feel
and preference is not the same
and it
thing.
Makes certain people uncomfortable. We not
it
gonna
does,
like
no, okay,
put it in commercials because
race and
we're not like
an
popular and we're not the majority. So like we shouldn't be putting ourselves in places where like the majority of popular people are.
No.
Because like it's literally a thing, bro. Look, like
sexuality is not race, bro.
Like I said, I give you.
I feel we're having a conversation. Even if you don't choose to be gay, it's not a race.
Let me just finish.
Okay.
Like my thing is like, it comes from a place of people feeling comfortable, right? Now, it doesn't only come from a place of people feeling uncomfortable. It comes from a religious view. It comes from a toxic masculinity view. It comes from a view of people being comfortable like white people are comfortable. Like
you're talking about
the majority is comfortable. I'm talking about mind control.
You're talking about controlling.
Like,
controlling.
It's not only like the way
you
that
can't
like,
force anything on people. That's what I'm saying, and I'm not just saying because it's a LGBT. I'm talking about you can't force issues on people because if they don't decide they want to deal with them, I don't believe that you should make somebody deal with it because again, you're making this an issue of a mob and not an actual issue. If a person does something wrong towards any group, they should be, you know what I mean, fully responsible for what they do. But why are you forcing an agenda on people that don't want to be affected by it? I'm not saying I personally don't, but I have a problem every time somebody tries to say, this is the way things are now, you have to accept it. Because and I'm like, this fine.
Because the people who aren't affected by it are the issue. That's why.
I don't think so, though.
I think so because if you're not affected by it, you don't see the issues and you try hiding it. And then you're trying to be like,
if you're not affected,
why are y'all putting this in commercials? Why are you putting this in movies? I want to hide my children.
If you have a gay son or a gay family member, you're affected. Okay, I'm saying if you deal with those issues, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm saying that's how you're affected by it on a personal level, and I respect that, and I think that's the way it should come out. Everybody wants to make it as a group agenda, and I don't think it has to be. I think that the conversation has to be acceptance in general of any group, of anybody.
Your comment before where you said that, like, oh, like, yeah, I was like, yeah, talking about how, like, Black people want to talk about Black issues, we should be right alongside them and, like, let them talk about their Black issues. And you were like, well, like, we should just make it a group thing and we should all fight this fight together. Why isn't it the same thing with
and
gay
if
people?
They choose, it is. If you choose to jump, if you choose to support that, then I agree with you.
So
more power to you.
You're telling me you want to choose one.
It doesn't make you better that you do it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make you a better person that you do it. That's all I'm saying. If you choose to, then it's out of the goodness of your heart.
Why would it make you a better person?
But that's just what I'm saying is a lot of people really do get just to that level. You get what I'm saying? So they don't make it. I'm talking about keeping it. I'm talking about keeping it at a personal thing. As in, again, anything that happens, not just your gay orientation, your preference, your anything. I'm saying that deal with it as it is affecting, not as a group, as a people that are just persecuting, because then you get power into people that could just be vindictive and use it in the wrong way as well. Is what I'm saying is that everybody's a bandwagon jumper, and I think that's a big problem because a lot of people aren't supporting it for the same right reasons that you may be doing it. Is what I'm saying when you say you have to accept this. Again, you're creating a whirlwind, you're creating a tornado, and it's not always a positive thing.
They have to accept
they have
to accept the right that I'm Latinx. They have to accept the right that I'm brown.
But what does that mean?
They have to accept the right that my girlfriend is Black.
Accept the right
they have to accept that.
It's like saying
you can't say that to white people. If you're like, yo, if you want to accept me, that's cool.
Okay, but it's like saying a person doesn't like.
If you don't want to, if you want to be a racist piece of shit,
no.
Be a racist piece of shit.
I agree with you, but it's like saying if somebody.
I ain't going. Like,
nah, that's bull. Because if somebody sees,
how's that bull?
Because if somebody's I'm trying to use an example. If somebody sees two gay people doing whatever, it makes them uncomfortable. Okay.
Applaud.
No, okay.
They that's them, bro. You can't be like, well,
I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
I don't agree with it, so like I'm gonna live this way.
It's like telling them that they shouldn't feel uncomfortable, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kids are uncomfortable when they see certain people. It's just a natural reaction to some people. And what I'm saying is you'll never force those people to be like, that's beautiful.
It's a natural reaction for white people to be privileged and feel like they need
and that's how white people got privilege. Okay. Is they said that this is how it is. This is how it has to be. You guys had to accept it. And then they put that over people and they made it so that everybody accepted it. And that's what we're doing to a certain extent. We're starting to tell people what we have to do. No, we don't, because we haven't pushed a revolution. We haven't actually did anything. When you do put through the laws, and I agree, it's a great thing that people who want to marry can marry in most states now. That's a beautiful thing, and I applaud it because that's people getting together and making a change, and that's great. But that's not the same as advertising it or putting it in kids' faces, and that's what they're doing. And again, they are.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. I have a kid in school right now. I've seen the stuff that they read.
That honestly really saddens me.
It doesn't. What bothers me is that it's forced.
You can't force nobody to be gay.
No, when you're changing. Okay, you're changing agendas. It can happen in any slight way. I'm saying that the fact that they do this again, that they're creating these changes, but not informing anybody of them, you don't prepare anybody for any of this.
And you shouldn't have to. Because it's natural.
Okay, so having
this
conversation with me, you think I have a problem with LGBTQ?
No, I don't think anything of you. I think that it's literally
I'm asking you because
that's dude. It's the norm. I'm used to people having these thoughts and these views, and it's wrong.
No, but then
it's like me like being like, okay, you're gonna have these views. That's okay.
Did you understand my question though? Really, like what I'm asking you?
Javi, look, I'm gonna put it like this. People are people. People have their sexual orientations. Yeah. They have their sexual preferences. They have religious views. They have skin complexions. They have nationalities. It's as a society thing, like we feel the need to like structure certain things and be like, men need to be with women, white people are on top. Like it's just there's like certain things in our society that are the way that they are, and they're wrong. It's not okay. There needs to be changes.
That's what I'm saying. But we're doing the same thing
and the way that we do those things isn't by like if black people would have been like, okay, that's okay that you're racist. I'm just gonna step back and like let y'all be racist. And then like we wouldn't have gotten here. Latinx people wouldn't got here. Black people are people who literally started the civil. They literally started like the civil thing, bro.
No. You cannot compare a struggle like what African Americans went through. You cannot compare what African Americans. Okay, no.
Hitler literally killed people because they were gay.
Okay, but that is still not.
Grab him by the pussy.
That's not a comparison. That is not a comparison. That's a horrible comparison. I would have to say. That's a horrible comparison. You're gonna compare what happened, slavery, all of this stuff to no. I don't believe so because again, there's proof that it was not the same thing at all. It's not rooted from the same thing.
What's the proof? I want to hear what the proof is. Hold on.
Okay, in the United States, which is where all this is happening, name an example that comes close to slavery as far as with the LGBTQA community.
Gay black people. There are gay black people. Intersectionality.
Also,
wait, hold on. I'm asking. It's not anything. I'm just asking here. What?
Gay black people, gay Jews, people who were literally just
What
gay.
About it?
Even Germans who were gay got put into concentration camps along with Jews. You got to think about this type of stuff, bro. Like in our own cultures, it's just like shunned. It's shamed. Why, bro? Why is that shamed? Why is it a thing where it's
saying, give me an example.
You shouldn't advertise these things. You shouldn't advertise these things to my children because we want them to understand that a man goes with a woman. This is how it's supposed to be.
No, and I'm not saying
you can have your views.
I never said to advertise men and women.
They will see it later when they grow up, but for now, we want to comfort them and like make sure that like in our home they know that like a mom and a dad love each other. And you're supposed to be like that's not how it is, bro. You got to understand like they're gonna live their lives and like they're gonna be in commercials because that's people. They live in the world that we live in. Why should they have to hide? Why should it be like, oh, you shouldn't advertise yourself? That sounds so horrible. That sounds so
pushing
bad.
It on kids is different.
Black people, why are you advertising yourselves? Why are you putting out these commercials for your shampoo, for your hair? Why? Our kids don't have that hair complexion.
That's not at all what I'm saying, though.
But it's like the same thing, dude. It's
When did you
literally
know you
the
were
same
attracted to
thing.
When did you know you were straight?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
When did I know I was straight?
Yeah. Like when did you?
I really wouldn't get into that personally
Eddie,
because
this is
and really.
hold on. This is literally this is my thing. This is my thing.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, I don't mind having a woman's perspective, but even to ask a man when he thought, that's not something that you cover.
I feel it like
you know what I'm saying. And that's what I'm trying to, and that's what I'm trying to make it exactly. But to be honest with you, that's exactly what I'm trying to make an example out of. No, I get it. That's what I'm trying to make an example out of. As a kid, you don't fully understand these things. So why are people pushing sexuality on kids? Point blank. That's what bothers me. And that's my issue. School shouldn't do that because you don't know when kids are victims to rape, are things. And what? Because I discussed it, they're prepared for it? No, they're never prepared for it. Kids shouldn't have to deal with sexuality until they've matured sexually. And if they have, it's a really bad thing and people should deal with it. But again, to push sexuality on kids, they don't need to be thinking about that.
It's American.
I come from a place where as a kid, I was put a lot of things that were put on me were grown-up issues, and that did nothing. It's toxicity. Again,
toxic masculinity.
And it wasn't even masculinity. That's what you assume. Again, you put a brand on it like it's masculinity. Facts. It's sexuality presented to a kid point blank. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it is or isn't. My point is it's not that. It's that why are we discussing sexuality with kids at that early of an age? In kindergarten, why are we making them think about this if it's a sexual reference? And why is it okay? It's not okay. Kids need to mature. Kids need to mature. Yeah, okay, I agree, boycott Disney, but it doesn't make it okay is what I'm saying. Just because there's examples of bad people that do it, it does not make it okay. And again, I don't want to make it an issue where it's me against any community. I don't have a problem with a community. I have a problem with people forcing things on people, especially kids. And again, I do have it for my own personal reasons. But again, even a question like that will set off that type of emotion because again, this is kids I was talking about.
I understand
being pushed. And like I said, I agree for anybody that pushes for the right for a group of people to have equality. I am 1,000,000% for it, but there's a place for it. The court, there is, but I'm saying when it's presented to kids, and I may seem antagonistic for it, but I really value any little bit of innocence a kid has left because we're left in a world where innocence is not even starting to be a thing. It's becoming extinct. And that's a real big issue. People think that a kid maturing much faster is a good thing. No, a kid being able to grow up is a beautiful thing. A life lived correctly is a beautiful thing. But again, a kid should have that episode to be a kid, that time span. You get what I'm saying? No, and I didn't want to come off, and again, I didn't want to make it an issue where I stand against, especially LGBT. I have a lot of family, friends that I grew up always around people of this orientation, transsexual. Man, I put it out there. I got a cousin. I have 11 uncles and aunts on my mom's side.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
No, real quick. I'm just gonna say.
No. Like I hear.
No, this is just a real quick thing. Like,
because that's literally just like saying like.
No, I have a black friend. No, it's
you know
not
what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
no. Listen to me. I was trying to make a cool point out of it. First of all, I'm not trying to make it a derogatory thing. What I'm saying is like I was gonna put it out, like Christina's. If you're,
it's a little doggy outside.
Yeah, that's a customer. Christina. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest talk show hosts ever. She had this sexiest transsexual like little contest. My cousin won in that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm not like saying like I'm not saying like. Oh, I know people. I'm like, hey, there's a pride in that. I get it, bro. Yeah. I was proud for my cousin because she accomplished something. I'm like, I wouldn't put this out there. Like, if I had a shade towards it, I don't have that. I have it. But again, see how quickly. Cousin, but you see how quickly.
You're not even letting me talk.
No, I'm saying.
You're not letting me say nothing.
No, I'm still trying to make it. I'm still trying to make this point. Bro. But you see how heated people get just at the topic and not at the actual message. That's what I'm saying.
Like. Yeah, I get that. My only thing was and I'll say this, the only problem I had with what you said was that we shouldn't make this an issue for certain people that it's not an issue to. And I'm
But
gonna
I think
finish that.
I was guided towards
I'm
kids.
gonna
That's what
finish
I
that.
was really saying. You know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
finish
saying?
that by saying this: if my kid experienced somebody bullying them at school because they were gay at an early age, I would go to that school and I would explain in a way that made it make sense to those kids that my child has a certain sexual preference, and that means they like a certain boy. You don't have to explain it in a sexual way. You don't have to put it in a way where it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just explain it in a way where it's like, people like people, and that's it. You don't have to push it on somebody.
Bro, in this day and age,
my kid's black.
You can't separate life.
You shouldn't, but
especially what kids see, you can't separate life from sexuality.
Like I said, that's an American thing. You go to like
exactly,
England,
but we're in America. Come on, let's base it on where we're at.
But that's the problem. America is the problem, dude. That's the problem. The way that people think here, the Western ways that we think we have issues here, man. Like there's things that are messed up about this country, bro. Like you can't be like, yeah, we have racism. That's an American thing. Like,
but you know what's getting wiped out?
Thing,
freedom of speech is getting wiped out. Yeah, okay, but with all these conversations we're having, it's getting wiped out. No. I know. Look, freedom of speech paved the way for rap, point blank, that it exists.
Exactly,
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, bro, come on.
No, but I'm saying that's getting extinct now. That's becoming less. They're putting more restrictions on their freedom of speech.
White people want to like interject themselves in our issues and our environment.
Why does it have to be? This is what I'm saying. You're still going. I feel like you're picking antagonistic like sides. It's not. I'm not picking. Saying, like, I'm not picking sides like that. I'm not just saying white people. I'm not just saying.
It's not only. You're right. It's not only white people. It's light-skinned Latinx. It's
the 1%. If you want to put it down to that.
People. It's like it's literally like people who are like it's literally white people and light-skinned people. I'll put it like
that. Bro.
And I'm light-skinned. I'm light-skinned. I can say that. You go to my country.
Do you consider Saudis
you go to my country,
light-skinned?
I'm light-skinned.
Do you consider Saudis
light-skinned? There are people
light-skinned?
way darker than me.
Do you consider Saudis light-skinned?
Saudis.
Whoa. Those are some of the most powerful people in this whole entire
universe. Saudi Arabians?
Yes.
Okay. But like
they're mostly dark skinned. They are from this. Come on. My point is that bro, how is it that I think that's where we're at, is that people bring topics like white and it brings out so much emotion to where.
So you think we bring
my whole
it's like honestly, bro, we could go here and like talk about this.
No, I know. But
my points are this. I think your point is that you agree with the LGBTQ community having their rights and like being able to discuss those rights. You agree with that. And
that they've made a revolution. I agree with their political. I agree with their political agenda and how they move forward with a beautiful plan.
Right. And I agree with like
we can't do that as racism a lot of times.
BQA+ community
LGBTQ
having their rights, and I agree that they should be able to do and act accordingly, just like everybody else does. Like if their kid wants to have a Valentine and it's a boy, let's say they're not even gay. Let's say your son is like, hey,
does anybody remember when you couldn't have a boyfriend or girlfriend when you were 13? I'm saying no, it's not.
And that's fucked up because
it is not. You know, oh my God, dude.
How is that not fucked up?
Because babies have babies. How is that? Come on, bro. Bro. Parents need to man the fuck up and take real responsibility for your kids. Because if you're not protecting them, then it is on you. If a kid will have their free will and do what they want, but when everybody's like, it's okay, it's more of a common thing. I done been in neighborhoods like Little Village in Pilsen where it's common for every girl below 16 to have a kid or be pregnant already.
That's
because it is very sad. But again, because these mothers are not tending to their kids and not putting those restrictions because those kids are able to walk around and do whatever the hell they want.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying is that as a parent, I'm a parent. There's no way I'm gonna be okay with just you doing what you want. Guess what? I don't care if my boy likes boys or girls. Guess what? He still can't be having sex. He just can't fucking do it because it's more dangerous every year. It's scary.
That's fair.
You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm really.
That's not what I disagree with.
That's where my point of view is coming from.
I'm trying to get to the point where I disagree with, because I don't disagree with that. Like I feel like that's fair. I feel like, look, I don't care if you're a dad with a parent. I don't care if you're a mom with a parent. Like that's fine. You have your rules for your kids. If you don't want your kids dating until they're 18, that's your rules. I'm not going to interject with parenting. I'm going to interject when it's a point where like I come to you as a child and I'm like, hey, Dad, I have these feelings. I feel like I like men. I feel like I might like a boy. And then we're like, no,
but it's that parent's,
that's wrong.
And
like,
again,
that's
I get it. And it's
with.
that parent's responsibility to do the right thing is what I'm saying. Is don't leave it to a teacher to do that. It's that parent, because that parent is responsible for that kid. Do not leave it to a teacher to do that. And you can't force a kid to, again, talk about sexual orientation with a parent when he's 5.
I can fuck with
That's
that.
all I'm saying. And my whole time I've been talking
like,
about
this
look, is
I don't think you're
homophobic.
I don't think you're homophobic.
No, and I don't have a fear of people thinking I'm homophobic. I wouldn't come out and have these heated conversations to touch these subjects if I thought that I cared how people felt about, because if people that know me on a personal level, aside from everything else,
they don't know that. So you have to make that clear.
No, and I don't. This is what I'm. If I can't explain myself, I shouldn't bring something up.
Okay.
If people want to label something on me, hey, I expect it. I know the era that I live in. You know what I'm saying? I know how I take that full responsibility. I joke around about things like, so you know that people might take it serious. At the end of the day, I like to get on the personal level because I think that's where the touch on reality. But that's where the touch of reality is gone in most people's lives. Is that they go everything based on second, third, fourth perspectives. Yeah. They don't touch up on people. That's why when you talk about certain issues like LGBTQA plus with certain people,
that's something that I'm passionate about, just because like that's something that I've experienced as a child, where it's like I had that thought. Like y'all gotta understand that, where like I thought like I was gay. I thought I was like bisexual, and like that would have been fine. That's okay. But like I grew and I realized like those feelings are okay to have, but I'm not. I'm straight, and that's like obviously that's fine. That's not an issue. Being straight isn't an issue, but like I'm straight, you know, and it's okay to like think about those things. It's okay to have those thoughts, like, hey,
and I agree.
Am I gay? Am I bisexual? Like, it's okay. Like that should be a norm. It should be like people are gay, people are bisexual, people are straight. That's just the world we live in. You're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's literally like just like sexual preference, and it's not something you choose.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can like grow up and be like, hey, I want to be a lesbian. I want to be bisexual. I want to be asexual. It's just you. And that's what I want to tell the audience right now. Like, that's just you. You guys need to just be you. And like, if your parents are not like in agreement with something, or they want to argue something, or like tell you that you have to like force a sexual preference on you, that's not okay.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And I get it, but like, I'm gonna be a really antagonistic asshole right now, right? Not in a horrible way, and I don't mean it. I know you guys seen this in the news with a couple people. I've seen this a couple times with transsexual getting really upset in a store and like breaking shit over a comment. Everybody called this a hate crime, and that person had every right to feel offended. But nobody treated that person like a criminal for breaking shit. Now, if somebody would
shouldn't be.
Okay, wait, really quick. If that would have been a minority, like a Mexican or a black person, and somebody would have threw a slang at them and they would have broke some shit, that person would have been arrested.
On the spot.
On the spot. Now, it just amazes me. Like
I've seen stuff like that happen, and I've also seen parts where like Black or Latinx, transsexuals or bisexuals or gay people or lesbians have been treated just like they are, just like their race. But like, I feel you. Like there are circumstances where like they get like, you know, it's like certain people
but
don't get treated like.
Isn't that like a line you kind of draw? But they don't get that kind of.
Was that person white?
Yeah.
White privilege, my friend. It doesn't go away because you're gay or lesbian or bisexual.
It might have been, but that wasn't the headline though.
Bro, that's your coupon, bro. That's your get out of jail free shit. Bro, if it was a Latinx or a Black person, they would have definitely been like they would have definitely been treated.
And we got space for it on that one
in a different way. You know,
when you did bring that up, and I did make the point that if it would have been a Mexican or a Black.
Exactly, you said that, and like that's the thing, bro. Like you got to take it all into consideration. It's the intersectionality of it all. You have to think about every aspect of the person. Like are they a man? Are they a woman? Are they like certain orientation? Are they like certain gender? You know, like it's the thing.
Well, I'm glad I was able to have this conversation with you. One thing that people don't understand about me is that I'll get into these conversations, and you know, I had a good friend that I lost where our whole dialogue. Rest in peace, Louis V. Everybody that knows. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
that was my guy. You know.
Yeah, I remember.
No, but one of the beautiful things about that man. Real quick.
No, go ahead.
One of the real beautiful things about him being the people don't realize we were always chilling together. We were, close. We never agreed on any damn thing, but we respected each other so much.
Facts.
Because we knew each one of us had our own virtues. We knew we were boys nonetheless. And at the end of the day, just like I was saying, even though we have these strong opinions, it doesn't affect us. You know what I'm saying? We could stand behind something or think a certain way and still relate on the best of friends level without having it. That's the thing that gets to me.
Still,
everybody wants to
But you
talk.
still stood on your ground and was still like, yo, like I still think that that's fucked up that you think this. I fuck with you on everything else.
No.
But it's like you try to change that one little thought.
Oh, no. And again, because again, that is, I can't say that to you, and you know what I mean? I'm not forcing it upon you.
Yeah.
That's, again, my strong opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bunch of your strong opinions, and then I didn't feel hurt from them.
Yeah, like
it's the way
I don't want to kill you.
It's my rebuttal to it. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And it's organic. I'm not scripting anything.
Yeah.
I've never thought this through like that. So, you know, everybody wants to kind of make their point too. And that's all it is. Everybody wants to get their point out. And as long as your point's able to be out there, I think that's the important part, is that our points are able to be out there.
I agree.
No harm is done. And we can continue on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People don't hold on to things. And I think that's one of the best things, is that we could tackle any subject and be human about it. We could just be on the human level. I don't agree with you. I don't either. Cool. What do you want to drink? Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like let's have a coffee. Let's have a soda. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like I like doing that. Like I like touching on social issues, although I don't feel like I'm the best at it to do it. But I do feel like I have my opinions, and I think in a logical way where it's like, you know, I agree with things I agree with. I disagree with things I disagree with. Like I have valid points. I have valid arguments, but it's like don't take like what I say like verbatim. Like I'm not the best to like argue certain points, but I am going to stand up for what I believe in.
Yeah, and we're in an era where opinions are a grain of sand, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's going to keep laying down these opinions, and that's what I don't understand at the end of the day, is that let people have their opinions. When it's a physical thing, when it's an actual act against somebody, that person should have the right to defend themselves, just like we do in this country. We had that liberty always to defend ourselves, and it's been like blanketed by all these injustices and everything else. But by law, we can defend ourselves. If there's injustice, we can stand behind the people who the injustice is against. And whether you have a relation to that personally, or whether you just think it's right or wrong, we have the power to just stand by each other, no matter what the opinion is. If you're going to let an opinion about sexual orientation or race get in between actual being able to produce and do something, then there's really a problem with your view on what you really want done. I mean, do you want your point to be valid? I feel that. Or do you want?
I just disagree with that to a certain point, just because of my lifestyle. Yeah. And I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay.
I've had family members, I've had close friends just be on some straight up prejudice shit, be on some straight up homophobic shit, be on some straight up like, yo, I don't agree with this. That's fine. You don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that that's okay, but like saying, I'm not going to argue that with you because I don't have the energy to do that. I don't agree with it. And I don't think people like that should be like able to like hurt us, because there are people who are on a certain level, like on the nationality scale, on the gender scale, where it's like, yo, men are up here, white people are up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I cut them people out of my life. And I'm not going to say like, I hate those people, because it's hard for me to say that. I don't hate them. I strongly dislike them. I learned that from my close friend, Ricky 2991. It's wrong to hate people. I want there to be a point where everybody's equal. I want equality. I don't want women to be on top, men to be down here. I don't want black people on top, white people to be down here, Latinx people down here, Latinx people up here, white people down here. Like, I don't want that. I want everybody to be equal. And I feel like the way we get there is very difficult, and it's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. Don't think that. It's going to take a long time. And like, you're right on saying that like we should just like listen to each other's views. It's like if somebody's being harmful with their words to other people, other genders, other races, that's wrong. Other sexualities, that's wrong. We can't tolerate that, because the longer we tolerate that, longer we say like it's okay for y'all to be racist, it's okay for you to be homophobic.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna disagree with it from a distance. That's where it's like those issues are gonna keep happening because they still have those views, and we need classes on like, yo, like we need classes on racial issues. We need classes on sexuality issues. It may not be in grammar school, and you're right, because they can see what's happening. It may be in high school. It may be in college. It may be like, you know, classes outside of school. That's fine. But like, all I'm saying is like, there needs to be a change in the way people think. And like, it doesn't have to happen at such a young age, because it should just be, people at a young age should just be already affected by their parents and them not being homophobic, them not being racist. You know
all right, let's change a little bit of course of what we're talking to. Just there's, you know, injustices we do face and restrictions that we do face.
Yeah.
Now in this nation and everything, I feel like the biggest threat is that there is no categories to where people start. Kind of like in France, people are just rioting and saying everything's fucked up.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's the thing.
You know why that's so hard to control? Let's be real. Because there is no category. There is no blacks and whites only. There is no gays only. The reason that is such a nightmare for the government.
They definitely handle that better in France.
This is why, no, it would be 100 times felt more here if we did that for reasons that weren't categorized, that weren't just for our own personal selves and just beliefs, and more against injustices that we are facing, where it's not people shunning each other because they don't think a group is, it's because we're all going through it. Yeah. This is the truth. At the end of the day, even if you are that racist that's getting their way, there's a lot of stuff that you don't agree with. And the reason that we think so straightforward is because we are in categories. Yeah. I am Latino. I am.
As much as I love that, I hate that. It's just like, because
but
like,
I'm just saying that I feel that's the biggest nightmare for a government like ours.
It's a nightmare, dude, because you don't understand. Like, the reason they're taking the light off of the Mexican issues, the reason they're taking the light off the Latinx issues, they're forcing issues on the black and white communities because they realize the Mexicans are thriving, bro. Mexicans are up here.
Well, no,
if Mexicans would have united just like black people united and be like, yo, these are our communities, we're taking control over this area, let's start right here, we're starting in Pilsen, this is it. You try coming over here, we're not letting you, none of our apartments are available. You know what I'm saying? Like, only 2 people live here when in reality 10 people live here. Like, if people were that close in the Mexican community, white people would be out. It's not even only all white people. Like, I'm not saying that. As a man,
let's talk a good statistic.
Hold on. As a man, I understand when a woman or anybody else says men are trash, I understand they're not talking about me because I'm not trash. If I say white people are trash, my white friends on Facebook, you can see in my comment section, understand what I'm saying when I say white people are trash, because they're not trash. It's the majority. It's like literally like groups like that are the problem. Like,
but again, when you're attacking a group, that's the only. I get what you're saying, but
I'm attacking the ideas behind the group.
But it's like somebody saying, like, oh, blacks. Oh no, the other blacks that I'm not talking about know who they are. You get what I'm saying? That's a weird line.
Black people have never been able to oppress. Black people have never been able to oppress any other group because they've been so marginalized and oppressed themselves. That's why I say that white people can be racist and white people are the problem and white people are trash, because they have oppressed so many people, not only black people. That's what I mean when I say that, because black people cannot oppress anybody right now. How can they oppress somebody? How can a white person like say that? How can a black person oppress anybody?
Argument,
bro.
It's first of all, it's not an argument about. Like, no, I'm not saying that they can right now. I'm saying you said they've never been able to. It's not true.
Explain that.
The Moors, there's been a lot of people. If you actually get into it, those were one of the first.
Okay, let's get into it,
bro. You don't want again. You're picking sides, and we should again. I'm trying to. No. See, look, again, that, and I think that's
bro, my thing is like
that's the problem. Like, is everybody tries to be right before they even try to be relevant about.
My thing is like, bro, you gotta understand. I'm Latinx proud. I'm black proud. I'm gay proud. Bisexual proud. Asexual proud. Transsexual proud. Like, bro.
But what does that really mean to people?
You can't bring me out to your show
what does that mean
to people? Not to be on some what's good? You gonna say this about black people? You gonna say this about Latinx people? About transsexual people, bisexual people? Bro, I'm gonna say my shit, bro, and I'm gonna come hard with it. Just like you gonna come hard with your views. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me, bro. Like,
all right, but one stat I was trying to put out as a pride thing, in the last 10 years, economical growth-wise in categories,
thanks.
the woman Latina has the biggest in the United States marginal growth.
Okay.
And I applaud that. And I think a lot of it has to do, and you see this again. I was talking about,
because black women are up
it has a
there
lot
as
to do with our bad sides too. Like
Yeah.
I was saying that a lot of women had kids at an early age. Well, guess what? A lot of women stepped up to the plate after they had kids, and they worked 1-2 jobs. They worked their way up. And that, I feel, is a representation of something that was horribly oppressive and damaging to these neighborhoods that, you know, someone stepped to the plate, or, you know, women did, and they said, well, man, maybe my baby daddy's out there, a gaybanger, he's never going to grow up, but I'm going to get my family ahead. I'm going to get these couple jobs. I'm going to grow. And I've seen these attitudes, and I could applaud women like within the community, you know, like Latinas. But you can look up that statistic.
Latina women, I applaud you. I love you. I absolutely cherish you because women like my mother, women like my grandmother paved the way for us. The bullshit you dealt with our men in the community and with your children in the community says a lot for your endurance and your strength. Like, you are up here. I respect you to the utmost of my ability to respect you. Like, applauds to y'all because y'all definitely take bullshit and you keep going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I love y'all.
No, yeah, and you know, I come from a strong mother. I come from, you know, it's not all the same issues, but you definitely feel the love and the pride. And you know, I can't talk about everybody else's experience growing up, but you know, I got a lot of peers who, you know, can't say that they ever felt their parents' love. You know, I lost my mom early. I wasn't able to always have my, you know, parents around, but when I did have them, I was fortunate enough to have that. You know, you felt that urgency and someone that was there to care for you.
You had someone.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people didn't have. A lot of people might have had a lot of money,
and they hold
but
us
their
together,
parents
bro.
are never there. You know
they hold us together, like Latinx women in general, bro. Just like hold us together as a unit, like as Mexicans, as Salvadorans, as Puerto Ricans, Latinx women. Like, y'all are strong. Y'all are the ones who put in the work. Y'all are the ones who take the shit. Like, y'all take the shitty end of the stick.
And shout out to all the dudes that do something, because there's a lot of y'all too. Of course, we like to shit on men, and Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and there's gonna be a lot of really hurt
Latinx men out here who play their part like me. You know what I'm saying? Like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm letting the Latinx women have their time to shine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to.
Like they are the ones who put in the work, man. Like, you know, they just. I know my mom took a lot of shit from me and my parents.
Talking about Valentine's Day real quick, I just came up with a little comparison to Valentine's Day to the Milky Way, because the first layer of it is you got people chasing tails, you know, stars just chasing tails. Then you get in the middle and you have certain stars that are able to, you know, cohabitate, you know, areas, and certain ones that just wipe each other out. I feel like those are the couples. And in the middle of all this, you got this black hole that's just sucking the energy out of anybody left behind, where they just feel like nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like that's Valentine's Day in the whole, like, some Milky Way.
I'm you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little like I trust you. I'm feeling a little like I like this show.
I got you, man.
Next month we're doing South by Southwest.
Okay.
We have our own stage. We're linking some major artists with our stage.
That's what's
brought to us by Spice Gang Entertainment.
Okay, where's that at?
It's in Austin, Texas. It's on 6th Street. You could just go on southbysouthwest.com. You'll be able to see us in a couple weeks or so.
Okay.
And after that, we're going on tour with Rick Wilson. Man. So
when you headed out there to Texas?
We're headed out there the 11th of March.
Okay. That's what's up.
We got some people coming with us. We got some radio hosts coming with us, just to like do media coverage. We can talk about it a little later.
Yeah, definitely link up on it.
Yeah, bro, like we're making some big moves in the music industry. Spice Gang Entertainment is definitely sticking out like a sore thumb in Chicago. We're everywhere. We're out here, man. We're putting in work. So like, link with us, man. Like, listen to my music. Like fuck with us before you pop off. Like, I'm never that person to be like, yo, you didn't listen to me when I was at the bottom, so I don't fuck with you. But like, fuck with us, bro. Like, You know what I'm saying? We're cool. We're not assholes. Like,
Nah, and if you like the music, you know what I mean, definitely follow and support, because at the end of the day, everybody's got an opinion, like I said, but not everybody's got a hit. And let's be real, like either you got those hits that people could really, relate to, jam to, or you don't. And you know what I'm saying? Let's put some focus on that craft and what's in the music, what's in the vibe. And if you like it, support those people, especially if you really mess with it, man, stop buying other people's stuff.
Listen,
like I said, it's about us. It's not about.
Thankfully, like we're like put out there. Thankfully, like we're like put in a place.
Who's putting you there? Let's put them out real quick.
Oh, like Swank PR, UIC Radio, you guys, Wardens Midwest. Man, dude, like honestly, like we put a lot of work into just promoting ourselves on Facebook and Instagram ourselves. Like just like Spice Gang Entertainment as a whole. Ian, my brother. Like Big Dave, shout out him. Like shouts out to James Cameron, shouts out to Ricky 2991. Chase DJ Chase the Money, bro. Like he be going crazy, man. Like Vic Lloyd be going crazy for us. Like Fat Tiger, you know what I'm saying? Like people mess with us, bro. Like, and I think like it takes stuff like this to actually get that exposure. Like Morton's Midwest, you guys have like accepted me and like just like brought me into your radio show on countless occasions. Like I remember when y'all were back at DePaul radio station. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you specifically, bro. Like you would always mess with me on like freestyle shit.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, like Terry Tertiary. Like y'all just like cool, man. Like I vibe with y'all. Like
and that's what we're here to do. End of the day, like
thanks.
Like I said, me, I'm more of a antagonistic role anyway. You know what I mean? It's not that I want to get on people's nerves or anything like that, but I feel like when there's something that's not talked about, let's talk about it.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Even if I end up looking like an ass, I'm okay with that.
You the Charlemagne. You Charlemagne, the god of Warden's Midwest, bro. Admit it,
I appreciate that.
Admit it, bro.
I appreciate that. Look, I can't stomach the guy sometimes, but I get
that's it. You,
it's
bro.
Like I got a daughter right now who's a menace.
Play that role,
and the only reason I got any patience for her is because she's a menace like I'm a menace.
Thanks.
So I get mad, but I'm like,
thanks.
I can't get mad at myself.
Hey, I can't be mad at you. Like even though like you know what I'm saying, like I can't be mad at you, bro. Like you good.
And that's what's hey man, you know what? Let's leave out with a track. Like I said, if you want to bust a little flow afterwards, we'll record that for the extras. Leave us off with something more inspiring.
I don't know my phone.
You got something inspiring for us?
Thank you.
Is that a Kelly Rowland shirt?
Oh, no, it's the rapper shirts.
Oh, okay. I know.
I bought that shirt for my baby.
I like those.
You want me to play a track? That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And we've been hearing it, girl, so why don't you shout her out? And you know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to play Shea Butter Princess.
Shirt, you know what I'm saying?
That was about her.
Shea Butter Princess.
Moisturize.
Shout out to the Bay. Whip up her own, you know what I'm saying? A little avocado oil and that lavender shit and all that good. You know what I'm saying? Lemongrass and whatnot.
Let's let her take this. Let me use the bathroom. You want to sit right here?
No, you can't do it. Yeah, you can. This is Shea Butter Princess by Kidmed. I'll stay right here.
Feel a little better when this shit unfolds. A little place where this can go. Sweater, baby, it's too cold. I tell her, baby, whoa, whoa, whoa. Little better when this shit unfolds. Little place where this can go. Sweater, baby, it's too cold. Whoa. Look at my wrist. Tell me what's on the list. Go kick it with kid. Little off my head. Bad little baby. Even though your eyebrows faded. Sipping on the hand dog, mix it with the egg dog, give it all the crystal, baby. Yeah. She thinks she worth it. She picks it perfect, just like a serpent. She keep it lurking. She insta surfing. I keep it popping, just like a I keep it rocking, like bread and vodka. I get so awkward. I'm looking something just like percussion or all the touching. This mother chakra. I get so awkward. Listen to my gut. We underneath it. I see you reach it. Girl, you can have it. Below the covers. Oh,
You make it a point to try to make your song sound a little different every time.
I mean, not really.
No, I like that.
I think it just kind of happens.
You got different vibes out of each. You know?
I think it just
No,
happens.
it's a positive thing. I mean,
Yeah, like
be able to be flexible and organic.
I feel like I'm just so natural, bro. Like it just comes out. Like I'm just so like chill. I'm so confident in myself. Where it's just like I'm myself. And whenever I rap or get in the booth, I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's different because I don't try. And I feel like some people think I do, and that's their personal opinion. But I'm just myself, bro. Like you know what I'm saying?
It's okay to try. I think don't burn yourself out. That's all. Yeah,
I feel like that's how you start out. I feel like I used to be like that. I feel like I definitely used to try, and that's a good thing because like you can't enter the hip hop industry and like not be influenced by somebody or not like try to sound a certain way. It's just like that. But then after a while, always and like you just grow in the point where you just like become comfortable with yourself and you learn your own lane and you just like kind of like guide your own flow and guide your own like personality. It's just like
Word is Midwest. That was Kidmed with Shea Butter Princess. Check them out. Where can they check you out? What's all the streams? Right now, all the plugs.
Spotify, iTunes. We out here, bro. Spicy Entertainment, Ricky 2991, James Cameron, and Kidmed. Shout out Ian Hollowbody. Shout out Simone Audible, bro. On Instagram, we're going crazy. Like,
what's up? Well, we're wrapping it up. We took a little bit of time today, but glad we were able to cover a couple things,
thanks.
Get on each other's nerves for a little bit, and get back into our zone. So, once again, thanks, Kidmed.
Thank you, bro.
This is Impact, one half of Word is Midwest. Shouting out from Stockyard Coffee House. As you know, turn up or turn around.
South side, even though I'm from the west side, it's lit.
Impact.
So crazy.